Did y'all hear that? Okay. Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. I hope all y'all are doing well. Today we're talking about humility, just a state of being humble. Being humble in this thing, and walking in the fruits of the spirit. It's like walking in the fruits of the spirit. The importance of walking in the fruit of the spirit. And so we're gonna kick this thing off with the spirit. You already know we start this call off every time we get on with a prayer. So I will lead and everybody can face the east. Everybody can face the east. Let me know when y'all facing the east. So we can pray. And then we can start the lesson.
Sis.
And God. Y'all all ready? All right. YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, water for this day, water for this Shabbat, water for this birthday. All praise and glory unto thee, Yahweh, YAHAWAH, that we saw another Sabbath. All praises for our day of atonement we had. And I just pray that most high will we have a Yahweh Bible study in the spirit. I just pray that the spirit moves and everything our spirit is going to say and do it. I pray that everything be done this in order. And I just pray we continue to increase and just walk together and so I can continue to endure. Continue to fight these spiritual demons together and continue to build a righteous life and system through the spirit. The water for all these beautiful women through the spirit. I just pray that most high women, you heard all of our cries and let it come. Most high women, all of our sins got burned out. The water for this clean slate. I just pray continue for the spirit of us to move in spirit of righteous firmness and the crossing for the spirit of humbleness on us. Just continue to obtain the fruits of the spirit. And then not only in the physical realm, but spiritual as well. And then not in speech. And I just pray that we just continue to sharpen one another iron. And then most high just protecting all y'all should all the way. I just thank you for energy special around us. And we thank you and love you. And I just pray that you keep Yahshua our family is homeless, safe, protected, and fed. And come to you humbly and pray for these things on them I will. In the wonderful son, Yahawah's name, amen. YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Okay. Okay, so shalom, y'all. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing with the spirit?
Good.
Good. Okay. So y'all know we start off with this every time. Let all things be done decent in order. Just allow all things to be done decent in order. And then we got Sirach 11 and 8. You already know these are the classic precepts to start off with all the time. Wait a minute. Right here. Bear with me. Okay. All right, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their speech. So let's just make sure all things are done in decent order and we're not cutting anyone off. If you accidentally cut a sister off, apologize. But yeah, let's just, whatever sister's on the floor, allow her to talk and then speak. And don't be quick to speak either. Just make sure we're hearing everything first. But most of we can have a beautiful Bible study through the spirit. Again, we're talking about humility, just being humble and lowly in this thing. And then walking on the fruits of the spirits. Can y'all hear me good? Like, is any background noise messing up my volume?
I can hear you good.
Kind of praises. Because I will kick it off with a precept, and then we can just get this thing going through the spirit. Let the spirit move. So yeah, classic Galatians precept, of course. This is book Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there's no law. So these are the fruits of the Spirit. You know, when we're moving in the Spirit, this is how we have to act. But let me go back to verse 16 first to better elaborate. This I say, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the lusteth, so I could dang, against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of that which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahawah. And skip down to verse 25. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be deserts of vainglory, provoke one another, envy one another. So when we're moving in the Spirit, that's how the flesh and the Spirit, they go against one another. We already know that condition of the battle of the flesh is always warned against the Spirit. You know, the flesh is always going against the Spirit. So we want to make sure that we're moving in the Spirit and not in the flesh. Because when you're in the flesh, you know, you're committing those things are just where you're committing like adultery, fornication. You're doing all those things. When you're moving in the Spirit, you know, you're a woman that has faith. You're a woman that has patience. You're a woman that has peace. You're a woman that's joyful. You're a woman that shows love. You're a woman that you know, do good alms. You're a woman that's meek and temperance, have self-control. But when you're not moving in the Spirit, you're a woman that's always angry. You're a woman that causes strife. You're a woman that hates people. You're a woman that commits fornication. But you know, being in this truth, being renewed as an Israelite woman and walking in the ways that, you know, Yahawah told us to walk, then we have to live in the Spirit and move in the Spirit. So that's what I had to say on that. And I yield.
I have a precept.
Bring it out.
Were you trying to go into fruits of the Spirit more so first, or
Hey, whatever the Spirit moving to.
okay, kind. All right. Give me the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 29. BARAKATHA.
Job 5, you said, what was that? So like,
Job 22 and 29.
Kind.
This is gonna go into
Okay.
humility. So as everybody knows, I mean, if you don't know, I highly suggest reading Job. I haven't finished it yet personally, but I know it's fire, especially when you're going through it. And Job was a mighty, mighty buck, and he was humble. So there's many accounts in the Bible where, you know, our people were either made humble or just were humble from the jump. So this is Job 22 and 29. It says, when men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. So right there, if you read Job, you already know, like, Job lost everything pretty much, but he still, you know, never sinned with his lips, you know, never cursed Yahawah, none of that. So that's humble as it gets, like, especially because, you know, Job didn't do anything. So, you know, we know that we do stuff, we go off, we, you know, we've broken the law, statute, commandments countless times. We go off every single day. We fall short. So we need to be making sure that we're humble in this thing. Because if Job can be humble, he was perfect. How much more us? But I yield.
I love this precept ever since I read it. I love it so much. So this is the book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving givers less and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful, hating one another. But after that, the kindness and love of Yahawah, our Savior, toward man appeared. So we're all subject to sin. So we can't walk around this thing thinking that we can't fall, thinking that, we're not subject to sin, because we all are. We all fall short, and we can't walk around this thing thinking just because we have the knowledge or understanding now that we're better than someone that don't, or we're better than somebody that's struggling with a spirit, because we used to be just like that. We used to be foolish. We used to be disobedient. We used to be serving, givers less and pleasures, living in malice and envy. We used to be just like that. So for a second, we can't even fix our lips to say that we're better than somebody, because we're not. So we got to be as humble as possible in this thing. And then let me grab this real quick. Now, the Most High hates a proud look. The Most High hates a proud look. It's also not comely for a woman to just walk around thinking that she's better than her sister, because that's off. That's not love. We're all dust and ashes in this thing. So that's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. So the Most High, he hates a proud look. He hates someone that is prideful and puts themselves on a pedestal to make themselves feel better. And while you're walking around with a high shoulder thinking you're better, the Most High can easily flip the tables and have you going through that same exact thing. And now he's humbling you. So we just want to make sure we're being as humble as possible, because at any given moment, the Lord can make anything shake. You don't want to walk around this thing being prideful or thinking you're somebody when we're nothing. We all just vessels and dust and ashes. We all serve the same God, so we just got to be, as humble as possible, or the Lord will quickly humble you, like first quarter. So I yield. Precept. What is it? So I can pull it up.
Hear me?
Kind.
Philippians 2 and 3 2 and 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Did you want to break that down?
That goes along with what you were just saying. We can't go around and feel like we're higher and better than others. It's more righteous to think highly of others, like more than yourself. Uplift others more than you uplift yourself.
All praises. Y'all precept. We gotta be lowly in this thing. And when Kaya gave me the topic of humility, I was like, what is that? So I Googled it, and it said a modest or low view of one's own importance, humbleness. So, we can't walk around this thing thinking like, well, I'm better than this sister because I do this and that, and I do this and that, It's like it. We can't walk around this thing thinking we're better than someone. We gotta kind of just be in a humble, low state, because nobody's better than the next. You gotta look at your sister the same exact way you look at you gotta treat your sister exactly how you want to be treated and show love to your sister. So like it, Kaya. But kind, that was precept. We don't want to be conceited in this thing, conceited meaning like, let me just Google it, because I'm not going to paraphrase no definition. Dang. Excessively proud of oneself. So one want to walk around this thing like It's all about me. You don't want to walk around this thing like making attention and focus on you, putting yourself on a pedestal, just just being the center of attention and just making yourself feel like you're just a bag of chips plus the clip, because you're not. None of us are. We just want to be as humble as possible in this thing. And like I said, or the Lord will quickly humble you, so. And also just being humble when you're going through it. Like Kai brought out Job. Job never cursed the Most High. Job never once fixed his lips to curse the Most High or to like go against the Most High, even when he was going through it. And that's how we got to be. We got to be humble because we must know when we're going through things, we're going through those things for a reason. And we got to stay humble when we're going through things because the Lord is putting us through that season for a reason. Everything is set up for our learning. Sabbath 34:9. You're never going to learn or grow if you don't go through nothing. And we want to be we want to be thankful. We don't want to have this spirit on us where we're ungrateful. We want to be thankful at all times and just be content. Be happy where you are because the Most High got you where He wants you. And just know that whatever you're going through, the Most High is teaching you something. So you just want to find the positive out of everything and just be humble when you're going through it. Because it could get worse. Try to find the joy and the positivity in everything because it could be worse. But all praise to the Most High, like He got you where He got you. Just want to be thankful, be humble when you're going through it. Especially humble yourself before the Lord, because the Most High is full of mercy, but He's a God full of war as well. So don't tempt Him. I yield.
I got something. It's first. Can you hear me? It's 1 Timothy chapter 4 and starting at verse 12. So lucky, I'll just start reading. So reads, let no man despise thy youth, the water. So let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in spirit, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. So we have to be an example to the unbelievers because we don't know how long we're going to be in this captivity. And everyone is around, like some people may live with their family who's not in the truth or be around people every day who's not in the truth, so we have to be an example and we have to work in these fruits in charity, giving alms and stuff in the spirit. We know what the fruits of the spirit are. Mackenzie brought that out in Galatians, in faith, in purity. And we want to make sure that our garments are not full of spots, because you never know, maybe you're in this truth for like 2 years and like 2 years pass and now your mom that you live with this whole time, now she wants to come into the truth because she sees how you're about your business, about the Most High YAHAWASHI. And also just we have to be an example because if we're not walking in the fruits, then we're not working the righteousness of the Most High. So I yield.
All right, I'll praise this. Give me 1 second. But somebody can pull a precept if they got one. Kai, what was that Job precept you brought up?
Job 22 and 29. I have a precept in Psalms. Psalms chapter 10, verse 17. And it says, Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear. So I thought that was mighty because, we really want to be heard by the Most High. Like when we want, peace in our lives or whatever your heart desires, we want the Most High to listen to us. Basically, we want our prayers to be heard. And, we can only do that if we're humble. Like, what does the Most High look like trying to bless you and you're not even being humble in this thing? Like, you think that you're putting yourself on a pedestal where you're not even at. Because at the end of the day, the Most High chose you to be in this thing, not off of your works at all, because, we're wicked and we really don't deserve to be even in this thing or even be his chosen people. So we got to make sure that we're being humble, we're praying to the Lord, that he's even hearing our prayers, because we know if we're not following his law, statutes, commandments, he's not hearing our prayers. It's just pointless. So we got to humble ourselves before the Lord and really be sincere in this thing. But with that, I yield.
Got a precept. Luke 14:11. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Salakia.
Oh, Salakia. Go ahead, Hadassah, my bad.
Oh, Khan, I thought she was finna break it down.
I finna break it down, Jasper?
So, if you're humble in your ways and you're not seeking vainglory or being prideful, the Most High will see that and he will uplift you in certain ways. You won't have to uplift yourself.
Just going off what Kaya said, like, the Lord is not dealing with like a proud look and folks that exalt themselves. And that's why it says whoever so exalted himself shall be abased. So like if you exalted yourself and been proud for the Lord will quickly humble you. Because we're nobody in this thing. And nobody came in after works because we was all drinking of iniquity. And we're only in this thing by the Most High mercy and grace. So who are we to put ourselves on a pedestal? Like we're nobody. But Hadassah, you can grab your precept. I'll pull it up on the screen.
Khan, the first precept I had was Philippians 4:11. Oh, Kasha. Khan, it says, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. And the Most High kind of cut me up with this today because, we all have our desires and the things that we want, but, he's given us exactly what we need for the trials and just our life in general, what we're going through right now. So it's like, he cut me up for being prideful because I was like, well, please give me this so I can endure through this or whatever, which is off. But, it's just me being proud. So, I was then going to pull Sirach 10:9. Oh, Khan, it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such a one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And, the Most High does not deal with covetousness. And I found myself being covetous. Like, I'll be praying for something, asking for something, but I'm forgetting, like, that the Most High has blessed me with so much. He has everything already in front of my eyes that I need. So, cons.
Sis, and you like putting yourself up and confessing your faults, that goes to show how humble you are, because not a lot of people got that spirit on them to where they're able to confess their sins and admit, yeah, I was wrong. So that just goes to show how humble you are. So all praises for that.
All praises.
All praises. I wanted to get this real quick. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 2, and it reads, let another man praise thee, not thine own mouth, a stranger, not thine own lips. So you don't want to walk around this thing like saying, yeah, I kind of, I read 10 books today, and then I studied about 3 videos. Yeah, I think I'm pretty mighty, I don't think, can anybody really correct me? I didn't read the Bible 3 times already. I can't be checked. You don't want to work on this thing like praising yourself, or like just giving yourself credit, too much credit at that. You just don't want to walk around this thing praising yourself. You want to let another man praise you, not your own lips. You want to let somebody else praise you. And even then when somebody's praising you, giving you compliments, the water, but all praise to the Most High, YAHAWASHI, because without the Most High, we're nothing, and we're still nothing. But you just don't want to walk around this thing praising yourself, because that's off. It's not all praise and glory to Mackenzie. It's all praise and glory to YAHAWASHI. So you just don't want to walk around this thing praising yourself. Hands on the roof type thing, because that's off. I yield.
I got a precept to it. Proverbs 11:2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. So with that, if you're prideful, you have the mindset that you have it all figured out and you're uplifting yourself like you have any control over anything, but the Most High will show you that you don't, and he will make you low, and that's where the shame will come. But with the lowly, there's wisdom. We know that we don't have it all figured out, that we don't have control over it. The Most High does.
And especially when you're going through it, you don't want to let me get this real quick. Hold on. This precept not going into pride, but this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 2. Set their heart right and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. So when you're going through it, like when the Most High is sending you through that fiery furnace, that affliction, when you're enduring through whatever the Most High is throwing at you, you don't want to make haste in a time of trouble. Like, okay, if I do this, if I do this, if I read this many times, if I pray this many times, I'll do this and that, then I'll be free from the spirit. Like, it'll be gone. You don't want to you don't want to figure everything out, because who are we to figure everything out? Only the Lord has it figured out. That's why Proverbs 3:5, verse 6 tell us to lean onto the Lord's understanding and trust in him, because if we lean onto our understanding, we're going to be running around with chickens with our head cut off, so we just want to be humble and lowliness of mind, because only the Lord got the control to remove that spirit off you when he say, not you put it in your own hands and you saying, well, I'm going to move this spirit because I'm going to do this and this. Yes, it's good to put tactics and plan, like a game plan. How to football, they got a playbook to defeat the other team. Yeah, it's good to get a tactic, like things you need to do, to get some scripts and cut up the demon and stuff like that. But only the Lord got control and got it figured out on when that he's going to remove that spirit off you. So you don't want to have a mindset of I got this in control, I got it figured out, because you don't. The Lord do, and that's why the Lord tells us to lean on him and cast our cares onto him, because only the Lord, YAHAWASHI, got the power to make anything happen. So I yield.
I have a precept, or backing off of what you were saying earlier, Mackenzie. So it's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 5. And it reads, "Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man? I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh gave the increase. So then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase." So these are mighty men of the Lord, they were planting and watering, giving the milk to the Gentiles, or the people that they were preaching to, trying to bring them into this truth and preaching the gospel. But like us as sisters, maybe let's say you bring someone into the truth, or you bring out some scriptures to someone, and then a month later they're coming asking you some more questions. You can't think that that's anything that you do. Or maybe you help a sister because she's going through it, and you give her that medicine of this word. You can't think that's anything that you do, because it reads in verse 7, but Yahweh give it the increase. So the Most High ultimately is who does everything. So when we do things for sisters, or if you give alms to someone, you can't puff yourself up or let that spirit of pride come onto you. We can't do that, because we have to remember that ultimately the Most High is in control of everything, and it's all praise, honor, and glory to him that we're even in this truth able to do things like that, because it's not our doing, it's the Most High's. That's what Paul was going into.
All praise to the Most High. That was a beautiful script, a beautiful breakdown. Yeah, the Most High gives the increase. You know, without the Most High, nothing. Without the Most High ordering it, without the Most High putting His hand in it, nothing gets done. You know, the Most High gives the increase. The Most High has to say so. The Most High says yes or no. The Most High, you know, He accepts or declines. Like the Most High gives the increase. He's the one in control. So you know, without the Most High, ain't nothing flying. So you know, we just gotta. You know, the Most High gives the increase. So, like the sister said, beautiful breakdown. You know, all praise and glory unto the Most High, because it's nothing that we do. You know, we're the vessels. That's Romans 9:23, and I believe we're the vessels. You know, we ain't nothing but the vessels. The Most High works through us, but it's still the Most High doing. Like you can't take credit. Yeah, she the reason. Yeah, I'm the reason. She had the truth. No, no, sister. The Most High used you to bring her the truth, but that was His spirit and His doing. So it's just all praise and glory to the Most High. We can't take credit for nothing.
I like this one precept that's also in Sirach chapter 10. Just let me back off what the sister said.
Like you said, Sirach chapter what?
Chapter 10.
In
verse I want to start at 7 and then I'm gonna go read another script later in the chapter. But this is Sirach chapter 10 verse 7, and it reads, "Pride is hateful before Yahawah and man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity." So we all know that the Most High is not dealing with a prideful spirit, and it's hateful. Like when you are prideful, you're basically saying that that's hate. That's a hateful spirit to have. So just by being prideful, you're committing iniquity, which we know is sin. And then I want to jump down to verse 12 when it says, "The beginning of pride is when one departeth from Yahawah, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly." The Lord is not dealing with the pride sister, like pride sister, brother, whatever the case is. But, you know, we're talking to the sisters, like, as soon as you start to harbor that prideful spirit, you already know that you're turning away from the Most High. And we want to be as close to the Most High as possible in this thing. So we got to make sure that we're checking ourselves and constantly self-examining. So if y'all can hear my dogs in the back. But in verse 13 is literally saying, like, if you have pride, like, that's the beginning of sin, and that leads to abomination. And we don't want to be an abomination in the eyes of the Most High God. And the Lord will bring strange calamities and overthrow them utterly. Like, the Lord will destroy you if you're proud on this thing. And we can't be tempting the Lord, because, you know, He'll definitely do it. Like, He's merciful and compassionate, but He'll definitely destroy you if you're not walking in the fruits of the Spirit. And I yield.
I have a precept for that. And Salakia, give me 1 second. Salakia. I have a precept for that, and it is Proverbs 11, verse 2, and it reads, "When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom." So just like to land back on what my sis Kai just said, we shouldn't be prideful sisters. Really, that's not showing humility. And when it says, "but the lowly is wisdom," lowly basically means to be humble. So when you're humble, it shows wisdom. And when you're prideful, it basically just shows like shame. So as sisters, we have to be careful with that prideful spirit and to pray that that spirit flee from us, because we don't want to be prideful in the eyes of the Most High. And I yield.
Yeah. The Most High not dealing with the pride, and it's a precept in Wisdom of Solomon. It basically says, like, the Lord hates, like, he don't want to destroy us and like kill us and stuff. He hates doing that, but the Lord will definitely handle you if you know you walking contrary to Him and you got that pride spirit. Because the Lord He's not dealing with a prideful sister. You know. So I'm gonna grab something real quick. Okay, sis, I'll grab that. I'm not going to grab right now, but. You said Colossians 4:6, Brianna?
Yeah, you want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay. Colossians 4:6, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know ye ought to answer every man. So basically, to season with salt is meaning to put effort. So when you put effort, you're putting in effort to know how to talk to one another, knowing how to, like, whenever you encounter with a sister, you know how to talk to them. So with putting season and salt, you're putting in effort. So it's really important for you to like basically know how to like meditate on that and just really put in the effort to actually like really know how to talk to your sister, basically.
Thought for that breakdown because I never knew what that verse really meant. Like I knew like the first part, let your speech be always with grace, but the after that I was like, what is that saying? So thought for that understanding. Beautiful breakdown. You know, we gotta put effort. Just being very mindful how we talk to somebody. Like you don't want to talk to a sister like you're better than her, because then she gonna feel some type of way. And she probably like, okay, well, that's not, like, you know, we want to let someone know we trespass against us, but you just want to be mindful how you come across to folks, how you talk to folks, because you know you could be coming off to a sister real prideful, and she probably not gonna want to talk to you again. Like you may apologize, but you know she just might distance herself. But so you just want to be mindful. Like the sis said, season will start making effort. And I wanted to get Proverbs 22 and verse 4, Lamian back of what Kaya said like a few minutes ago about pride going before destruction of the Lord, because like when you like your pride is departing from the Lord. So when you like when you've been that's the pride is the Kaya, what does that precept say?
So like yeah, it says the beginning of pride is when one departeth from Yahawah and his heart is turned away from his maker.
So like that's the beginning of pride when you feel like you don't gotta listen to the Lord. That's the beginning of pride when you feel like you can't get corrected. It's the beginning of pride when you just start feeling like you're back just supposed to clip. So you just want to be humble in this thing. And then Proverbs 22:4, by humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor in life. So when you're humble in this thing, you truly fear the Lord, and that's gonna come riches and honor in life. And I'm not saying like the Most High gonna bless you with 10 bands and a Benz and a Mercedes. No, the Most High gonna bless you with these riches of knowledge and understanding. He gonna bless you with this riches of the spiritual things. He gonna increase your fruits. He gonna increase you through the Spirit. He gonna increase you to be a better Israelite woman. That's what that's going into. Not brand new whip, car keys, brand new shoes. No, just so we just want to make sure we're humble in this thing and truly fearing the Lord, because when you fear, like Kai just said, the beginning of pride is departing from the Lord. When you truly fear the Lord, you're being humble in this thing. You understand who you are. You're not putting yourself on a pedestal. So, man, by fearing the Lord and by being humble in this thing, He's gonna bless you and increase you with those riches. So, riches of the Spirit, increasing you through the Spirit. So, I yield.
Con, I have a precept that goes with what BB was saying on like how we talk to each other as sisters and doing it in a humble manner. So the precept I have is Romans chapter 12 verse 16 reads, live in harmony with one another, do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Basically, not being conceited, not talking to your sisters like you better than them. You know what I'm saying? Like doing stuff in a way that's like coming off wrong, because like you don't want to do that. Like you really have to do that. You really have to talk, so like you really have to talk to your sisters in a manner to where like you're not trying to put yourself over her, because we're all babies in this walk. We're all learning. We're all trying to grow in this thing. So we don't want to make ourselves on like a pedestal above our brothers and sisters. And I yield.
I have something.
So like Sister Ariana said, this goes back to what the sister was saying about how the Most High will destroy evildoers. We definitely have to be careful with these spirits. If someone will please read this for me, Romans chapter 1, verse 29 and 32. So if you don't mind, Aquila, can I grab this precept for this sister first?
Of course.
Okay. So and it reads, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of Yahawah, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents without understanding, covenant breakers without natural affection, implacable and merciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahawah, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So, when you're, and that's also moving in the flesh, some of those things that's wrote out in this script is in Galatians. So you're moving in the flesh. These are things you work in. When you're moving in the spirit, you want to stay away from all these things. But if you're being proud, you're worthy of death. The Lord is not dealing with the pride. He's not dealing with none of the things I just read. So we just want to make sure, we're worthy of the kingdom. Want to make sure, we're worthy of good things. We don't want to be worthy of death. We want to, like Kaya said, we want to be as close to the Most High as possible in this walk. So, I yell, Aquila, you got it.
That's the spirit though, because hold on, let me go back to the chat. But she was saying that the Most High will destroy evildoers, and we have to be careful with these spirits. I was gonna get something backing off what you girls were saying earlier. It's Sirach chapter 5 and verse 4. And it reads, It reads, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. And then verse 5, concerning propitiation, which means atonement. Be not without fear to add sin unto sin. So like we can't say that let's say the spirit of pride keeps hopping on us, or any spirit, or like anything that you battle with. We can't say like I've already gone through this and I got through it, like the Lord basically didn't judge me the last time. We can't say that, because the Most High, he's long suffering, and he will recompense us for our evils, for our wickedness, for our sins, no matter what level it is. So we can't think we're safe, in other words. And that's something that I've had that spirit on me a few times, like thinking that you're safe, but you have to keep going hard and trying to get these spirits off you, and pray to the Most High for mercy, because he's very long suffering. And but he's still gonna recompense, if that's how you use that word, to you, your judgment, basically.
I had a precept for that in Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Who brought that out? Jasper or Hadassah?
Oh, that was Hadassah.
So I keep my cameras off, so I wasn't able to see who's talking. Did you want to break that down, sis?
Oh, Salakia. It was kind of just going into I think that was Aquila, right? What Aquila was saying, just about not thinking that we can slide with anything, because the Most High will just really wait patiently, for you to be at a point. Well, he'll break you down to a point where, and you still think you're prideful, and then he'll just, execute all his judgment on you at the very end, like how he's doing Esau. It's like he's letting him really gather his iniquities right now. And he's going to give him judgment at the very end. And it's like, we don't want to be in that same position, thinking that, not expecting more mercy. I think there's a precept on that, not expecting mercy, but, pleading constantly for mercy. Okay.
That's mighty. That's crazy because I was reading Judith today, chapter 5, and it was basically the chapter. I don't want to spoil it if anybody ain't read it yet, but basically it was going into basically I don't want to tell it without telling what's really going on, but basically it was talking about Israel, and it's basically saying the captain or whatever, the heathen captain, he wanted to know who he was, and he was like, let me tell you who these people are. They dwelt in the land of Egypt, yada yada yada. They was talking about basically some of at the end they said something along the lines of, I'm gonna just read it. They said, for say we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel, for lo, it is a people that have no strength, no power for a strong battle. Now therefore, Lord, Holofernes, we will go up, and they shall be afraid to be devoured of all thine army. So it's kind of like what this is how Dawson just said, kind of how the Most High allowing Esau to gather up all this, he's gonna get destroyed at the end, because these other nations, they say, who is their God? They say all these wicked things. They think they're gonna get off. They think they're gonna get off. They devour us. They do all these wicked things to us. They say, who is their God? Who gonna do something to us? But little do they know that judgment is coming. So I was backing up what the Sister Hadassah said. That's what the Sister Hadassah said. So we don't want to think we're getting off, and we don't also want to think our sin is lesser than someone else. Okay, well, she killed somebody, but I lied. So, hey, I'm kind of doing better. At least I ain't killing folks. The Most High look at all sins the same. I don't know if it's a precept on that, but the Most High look at all sins the same. There's definitely no respect to persons. Well, okay, my daughter, she committed this sin, but this daughter didn't commit that sin. So I'm gonna show more. The Most High not dealing with respect to persons. He don't got, you don't want to how I want to say this, you don't want to think your sin is any less just because you're not, you're not. The Most High look at all sins the same. So just because you ain't doing something, and this is doing something, you don't want to compare sins, because at the end of the day, it's all off. It's all off, and the Most High definitely gonna he's definitely gonna repay all of us when we're going off. So we just want to make sure we don't think we're getting off or our sin is greater, because the Most High look at all sins the same, whether you lying, sis, or whether she gossiping, it's all going off. The Most High he's gonna judge all of it the same. So don't think just because you're not gossiping and she doing something worse, there's nothing no worse or no, it's all the same. So just don't put yourself on a pedestal. Well, I'm getting off on this, because nobody's getting off. We all gonna get judged when we going contrary to the law. Most High sees everything. We're gonna have to all pay on their judgment day for everything we've done and said. So we just want to be humble in this thing, Just let me back off what Hadassah and Aquila said. I yield.
Con, I had a precept for that. It's James 2:10. It says, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. So it was like Most High saying, if we're gossiping about somebody, we're the same as somebody who's committing adultery. We're all still going the hell off all the time. So Con, I didn't mean to cuss. Salaki.
You good. Kind of water for that precept. We kind of just made everything I was trying to say in 3 minutes make sense in 1 second. So all praise for that. All praise for that. But kind of when you offend one part of the law, you going off. It's all going off. So just don't put yourself on a pedestal. Well, I ain't doing that, so I ain't got to be worried. You definitely got to be worried, because you're gonna get judged just the same. I just want to be humble for sure. Are you?
I have a precept in Deuteronomy chapter 8 and starting at verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. And then I'm gonna go to verse 3 as well. And it says, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth, Slakia, of the Lord does man live. So I just wanted to bring that out just to say, like, the Most High literally going back to, like, when the Lord brought us out of Egypt, like, he didn't have to do that because, our forefathers were going off. And that's why we got to remember, like, when we're praying, to ask for forgiveness for, not only us going off, but our forefathers going off, not keeping the Lord's commandments. And he puts us through all these different captivities because we were going off, not following the law, statutes, and commandments. So we got to remember to be humble in this thing. Although we do know the truth now, we still go off. And, we went off in our past lives and so on and so forth. So, the Most High is constantly humbling us. So we need to get with the program and just be humble. We won't have to be put in any more situations like this. And, we got to make sure that we're living by the word. And living by the word, there's multiple endless accounts on being humble and not having a prideful spirit. So we just got to make sure that we're trying to walk as perfect as possible in this thing. And I yield.
Come on, all praises, all praises. I had a precept real quick, and then you. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 2. With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, bearing one another in love. So, we want to bear one another in love with all humbleness and meekness, and definitely with patience. Like, you don't want to be impatient. Like, you don't want to. You just want to be there with your sisters in humbleness and patience. Like, you don't want to be talking to a sister and then you're making her feel like she's less than you, or you're putting yourself on a pedestal. You want to be there for your sister in love and be patient with one another. Like, that's what sisterhood is for, being there for one another. You want to go through these demons together. So I just want to be lowliness and meekness, as meek as possible, as lowness as possible, and with patience, loving one another, being there for one another, and humbleness and meekness. So, you don't want to I don't want to say this, I think I said enough. So, I yield.
Khan, I have a precept. It's off of what Mackenzie was saying earlier in Matthew 5, 18 and 19. So it says, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom." So, like Mackenzie was saying, we don't want to compare sins and stuff like that, because YAHAWASHI is saying, whosoever breaks the least of these commandments shall be called the least in the kingdom. I yield.
Just I yield. So there's a beautiful precept, beautiful breakdown, but kind of like the Lord saying, like, you break these commandments, you're gonna be called least in the kingdom. If you break, break one of these commandments, you're gonna be called least in the kingdom. But whoever shall keep the commandments and teach them, you're gonna be called great in the kingdom. So either way, like when you're going off, you're going off. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. There's no, well, I'm not gossiping, but I did lie. So our judgment got to be different. No, when you're going off, it's all going off in a general boat. We are going, gonna get judged for it. So we just want to make sure we're walking as righteous as possible and blameless as possible, and just being meek and humble and singing. Baba Kasha, like, give me like a few seconds. I need to pray because I'm on my back, y'all. Give me a few seconds. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little fan. Like, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 34. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. So the Lord, he gonna deal with the scorners. You know, the Most High he gonna deal with the scorners. The Most High gonna deal with everybody, but the Most High shows he gives grace unto the lowly. He gives grace unto those, you know, that's walking in a humble state. You know, not putting themselves on a pedestal, not making other sisters feel like they're less than them. You know, not, you know, just walking around this thing proud. So the Most High gives grace unto the lowly. We want the Most High's mercy and grace. You know. Cause ain't no, you know, we are all subject to sin. Like nobody's better than nobody. And, you know, especially when dealing with sisters in the world, you don't want to. Definitely, this is something big. You don't want to walk around this thing thinking, "Ooh, she," you know, because hey, we used to be disobedient to the Most High. We used to be just like that. If anything, you know, talk to the sister, edify her, you know. But we just want to be as humble as possible because, like I keep saying, like at any given moment, the Most High can turn the tables and have you going through the same thing and quickly humble you. So I yield.
I got something. John 15 and 5.
Psalm 15 and 5.
John 15 and 5.
John 15 and 5.
Yeah. Okay. It says, I'm the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So without that, with that, it goes with not being prideful, because without the Most High, we can't do anything. And through him, you know, we can bring forth fruit. We can show his righteous works through each other.
Come. That's the spirit. I was gonna bring it out later, but beautiful precept. You know, we're nothing without the Most High. Like Most High's the party, we're the clay, we're just the vessels. I yield.
Got something else. 1 Corinthians 4 and 4. And that says, for I know nothing by myself, yet am I not hereby justified, but he that judgeth me is the Lord. So this goes with that again. We're nothing without the Most High. We can't do anything without him, and we don't know anything without him. That we get or have, he gives it to us.
Because like we gotta pray to the Most High, you know, to put the spirit on us to understand, you know, what scripture saying. I gotta do a better job of praying before I read, but it's only the Most High's mercy and grace that we're in this truth. But it's only by his spirit that we got the understanding, knowledge, and the wisdom that we do. It's only by his spirit, you know, we have the talents that we do. It's only by his spirit that we have the things that we have. We know the things that we know. So, you know, we just gotta that's where I was going with this. But yeah, we don't know nothing about the Most High. It's only the Most High spirit moving in us. So we just want to be thankful and grateful, be humble, because without the Most High, we're nothing. Like Romans chapter 9 going to like let me just get it real quick when I'm talking about it. It goes into how the Most High is the let me bring it out. Hold on. Have not the potter over the clay for the same lump to make one vessel to honor and another unto dishonor. Skipping down, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory. So, you know, the Most High, he has power over us. He's the potter with the clay. We're just the vessels. The Most High Spirit moves through us and in us. You know, the Most High, we can't take credit for nothing because it's all the Most High. He just uses us as the vessel. So all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High, YAHAWASHI, because we're nothing without him. We know nothing without him because it's just his spirit. We got to pray that, that's Psalm 51. We got to pray that he don't remove his spirit from us. It's his spirit. And at any given chance, the Most High can the Most High can remove his spirit off you. So that's why we just want to make sure, like, we're praying that the Most High, let me just bring this out. We're literally nothing without the Most High. We wouldn't know nothing without the Most High. We wouldn't be where we at without the Most High. The Most High, remember who called you into the truth. The Most High called us to the truth. We are called before you're chosen. The Most High called us. We're nothing without him. Creating me a clean heart, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not the Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of salvation, uphold me with thy free spirit. So we have to pray this into the Most High, because we're nobody. We're not worthy. We got to pray that the Most High don't remove his spirit. We got to pray that he cleanse us. Because it's only the Most High Spirit. His spirit is in us and on us. So we literally got to pray to him that he don't remove his spirit. And without his spirit, we wouldn't know none. We wouldn't, so we wouldn't be where we are without the Most High. So just got to be humble and just praise the Most High and exalt his name, because he's worthy of it. He deserves all praise and all glory. I yield.
I have a verse. So on book Acts of the Apostles, chapter 12, verse 21 through 23, it says, "And upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, It is the voice of a God and not of a man. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory. And he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost." So that basically goes into not being prideful and being humble, because at any given time, like Kinsey said, whatever you have can be taken away from you, and it's nothing but fingers.
Con, I had a precept for that. Romans 1:28. It reads, and even as they did, Salakia, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And it just reminded me of what y'all were going into. The Most High doesn't need us. We're in this thing by only his mercy and grace. So if we have a prideful spirit on us and we think we're doing everything by ourselves, he can easily take our spirit and make us dead to the world again and give it to somebody else. And now we've died twice. Con,
That's mighty. That is mighty. We just got to be thankful and praise the Most High. And like the sister Kiara just brought out, he didn't give glory to the Most High, so he was smoked. So we want to make sure we're giving our praise and glory to the Most High. And like Hadassah said, Sister Hadassah said, Most High don't need us. He don't need us in this world. Most High don't need us. We need him. So we got to be humble in this thing and praise the Lord, because at any given time, he could throw us back in the world. 1 Timothy 4:1 talks about giving over to strange lust and wicked doctors and stuff like that. We got to pray daily that the Most High don't give us over to those things. We got to make sure we're also self-examining ourselves and making sure we're walking as righteous and blameless as possible, so he don't give us over to those things. Because the Most High can easily give us over to a reprobate mind, Yahweh forbid, but we just got to make sure we're self-examining, checking ourselves, and not being prideful, because the Most High not dealing with pride. And like this is what I said, the Most High don't need us. He called us into this truth. So,
I have a precept. So I have a precept.
Now you get out of
It's Ephesians 2:8 and 9. Going off what we're talking about, says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and not of yourselves, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahawah, not of works, lest any man should boast." So yeah, it is by the grace of the Most High that we're in this truth. Like we were saying, that the Most High doesn't need us. We're here by his grace and his mercy.
We hear about this Most High grace and mercy. I'm gonna grab this really quick. This is going into like the fruits. So this is 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but it's of the world. So we got to make sure we're walking in the Spirit as much as possible, and walking in the Spirit, obtain the fruits of the Spirit. So we can't love the world and love the things that are in the world. You know, we can't love. You know, we can't like. It's the priest. Let me get this. Let me get it while I'm talking about this. Like it's the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. So don't delight in the things that the ungodly take pleasure in. Don't envy not the glory of a sinner. So don't like, ooh, they so blessed, they got that, and don't take pleasure in the things that they do. Don't take pleasure in the things that the ungodly do, because they don't know their end. And don't like even in the glory of a sinner, because like we're blessed through the Spirit. Don't look at a sinner and be like, dang, they got the new car, the new shoes, new that, and we're blessed through the Spirit. We've been blessed to have our city here. So don't love the things that are in the world. Don't love the parties. Don't love the ravelings. Don't love the drunkenness. Don't love the things of the world. Because if you love the world, the love of the Most High YAHAWASHI is not in you. But and when you love the world, the lust of the flesh, it's all of that is in you. So I want to make sure we're moving in the Spirit and obtaining the fruits of the Spirit. Just walking in this thing as women, having that joy, having that faith, that meekness of spirit, and all those things, So I just want to bring that out real quick. And I also want to get this real quick. 1 John 4:1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahawah, because many false prophets are going out into the world. So we already know the prover friend, trial friend, and everybody's Israel, not Israel, Romans 9:6. So you don't want like a sister to like you posting on the gram and stuff like that, and the sister might hit you up in the DM. A sister might hit me up in the DM because I'm posting on the gram, I seem like, I'm doing the right thing. But we start texting and she like, like my fruits kind of showing, my spirit kind of showing. So we want to make sure we're trying the spirits, and don't just believe every spirit. Don't just believe everybody that say they got Hebrew Israelite in their bio, or praise the Most High, and they got fringes on the border of the boot, because that doesn't matter. Walking the law, statutes, commandments, believing in the Most High, and walking in the Spirit and obtaining the fruits of the Spirit, that matters. So you don't want to you don't want to be known. Like a sister don't want to look at you and be like, "Ooh, yeah, she." You don't want to say anything. You don't want anyone to be able to say anything bad about you. Like, I don't want to be known as a sister that has an attitude problem, that never got faith, that always loses patience, that's always mad. She don't got no I don't got no self-control. I'm not meek in the spirit. I don't have good arms. I'm very not gentle. I'm very aggressive, and I'm always yelling and punching somebody. Like, I don't want to be known as a type of woman. None of us should want to be known like that. So I want to make sure we're obtaining the fruits of the Spirit and walking in the Spirit, and being meek, temperance, having self-control, long suffering long, going through, enduring, having patience through whatever is the Most High is sending you through, and knowing that it's going to build you up, and having patience during that, showing good arms, because that's what our foremothers is doing. We need to be moving in the spirit of them as much as possible. Being gentle, not being very loud, obnoxious, being very overly aggressive and yelling and smacking folks just because they tripped over your shoe or whatever the case may be. So I just want to make sure we're just walking in the spirit as much as possible and trying every spirit, and not just believing what everybody say, because there's many false prophets in the world. There's many people that say, oh, I believe in the Most High YAHAWASHI, but their fruits and their spirit don't show it, because we're known by our fruits. Let me get that. I don't know it, but I'm going to type it in. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or fig of thistles? So we're known by our fruits. We're known by our fruits, and our fruits show. So it's gonna be shown and known if you're very impatient. It's gonna be known and shown if you're always angry. It's gonna definitely show if you don't give good works. Like, you can't hide your spirit. You can't hide, folks gonna know. Folks gonna know when you ain't moving in the spirit for real, you ain't gathering fruits of the spirits, because it's gonna talk for itself. You ain't gotta say too much. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So a good righteous woman, she's gonna bring forth good fruit, but a corrupt woman that's, walking contrary to the Most High, not doing what she's supposed to do, she's going to bring forth the evil fruit. And we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to be as righteous and blameless as possible. I always say this because it's so important. That's how our foremothers is moving. So we want to make sure we're gathering good fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So you can't be, doing what you're supposed to do when you're gathering evil fruit. It don't work like that, And then every tree that bringeth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So we're literally known by our fruits. And if you're not bearing good fruits, this is thus saith YAHAWASHI. If you're not bearing good fruits, it's gonna get cut down. If you're not bringing forth good fruits, it's gonna get cut down. So we just want to make sure we're bringing forth good fruits. And I'm going to pull this verse that BB just dropped, 2 Corinthians 13:5, because we definitely want to self-examine ourselves. Definitely look ourselves in the mirror. And I'm going to say that in a minute. Examine yourselves, whether you be in the faith, prove your own selves, know ye not your own selves, but how that Hamashiach YAHAWASHI is in you to be reprobates. So you want to look in the mirror and examine yourself and check yourself. See, are you really moving the fruits of the Spirit? Are you being patient on a day-to-day basis? Are you showing love on a day-to-day basis? Don't just do one fruit one day and then the next and forget about the other 6. Or how many fruits of the Spirit is? 9, I think. Yeah, forget about the other 8. So but you want to examine yourself and see, are you moving the fruits of the Spirit every day? Are you doing good alms? Are you self-controlled? Are you having patience? You want to self-examine yourself. So yeah, we're known by our fruits. We're known by our fruits. And if you're not bringing forth good fruit, it's getting cut down. Just to make sure, we're moving in the Spirit so we can gather those fruits. And also praying that the Most High add fruits unto us, because it's only by the Most High will. We're literally nothing without Him. So we got to pray that He add these fruits unto us and we increase in the Spirit and we increase in these fruits. But me and Kaya started this Fruit of Spirit challenge Kaya, how long ago this was? I want to say May. Probably May. Yeah, it was about May. And we've been doing it ever since. And we go on Will Decide. I'm going to show y'all on my screen. And I'll tell y'all what we do. We go on Will Decide right here. And mine is already saved in. So we put in the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance, faith. I think that's all of them. Okay, yeah. Apply will changes. Click it.
That's what it sounds like?
Yeah. Joy. So that's what me and Kaya do. And we practice that fruit for 24 hours. And if we get out the Spirit, we bust a 24-hour dry fast. If we don't practice that fruit, we bust a 24-hour dry fast. And I'm not saying we only practice joy that day. You want to, that's the fruit of the Spirit you got for that day. So you want to examine on that. It's not examine, but you want to, what's the word? I don't know,
focus on it.
Yeah, focus on that one, but you don't want to forget about the other fruits of the Spirit. You don't want to just be joyful all day and then punch somebody in the face because you got impatient with them. You want to practice all of them, but this is just help. This has helped us just be more mindful and walk on the fruit of the Spirit. And another sister that started doing it not too long ago, the way she did it is she said she also writes down at the end of the day and meditate, how could I have done better practicing this fruit? How could I have did this better? Was I really focused and meditating on this fruit? And like Kiara said, Aquila, she dropped in one of her YouTube videos, basically saying, how can I practice how can I do a fruit of the Spirit challenge? And I'm not truly meditating on the Spirit and really examining, am I really even practicing the Spirit? So we just want to make sure we're moving in the Spirit of our righteous family as much as possible, as I always say, and just studying YAHAWASHI and trying to strive for that perfection. Because YAHAWASHI is perfect and we have that image. So we got to study YAHAWASHI and try our best to get to strive for perfection and get as close to the Most High as possible. So we just want to walk in the fruits of the Spirit. And I haven't did the Fruit of the Spirit challenge in a few days. I'm probably going to get back on it, but I wanted to take a break on it because I wasn't really examining myself. So once I started back up, most I will, and I can truly examine and see okay, was I really practicing this fruit? Okay, how could I have did better with this fruit? Am I truly moving in patience? Am I truly, doing good alms, stuff like that? So I yield. It's an idea. I gotta get back on it too. I've been slacking. But me and Kylie, I set a timer on our phone. It tells me every 24 hours when to pick the next fruit. But I remember when I first started the Fruit of the Spirit challenge, I was being quick with it, not not quick, but like I was really being mindful. Like I was very honest when I got out of spirit. I would bust a fast, but I really been slacking, so I got to get back on it because it really keeps me on point. Really keeps me on point. But like I said, you don't want to like just say, okay, I'm practicing joy today and that's it. So I'm gonna be impatient. You know, you want to practice all of the fruits of the spirit, all of them. We just want to make sure we're known, you know, we're walking in the fruits because we're known by fruits. Folks don't know if you're real impatient. Folks don't know if you pee up any chance you get, you know, it ain't gonna hide. So I yield.
I got a precept on humility. It's the book of 2nd Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 12. And it says, and when he humbled himself, the wrath of the Lord turned from him, that he would not destroy him altogether. And also in Judah things went well. So that's just an account where you know, I forget who that was, but I think it's Shemaiah. But basically, you know, the man of the Lord, he humbled himself, and you know, the Lord spared him, basically. Because you know, if you read pretty much every book almost in the Old Testament, and it says, you know, and then Israel went off, and and the Lord's anger was kindled against them. You see that a million times in the scriptures. So, you know, in this account, he humbled himself, and then, you know, the Most High had pity on him, you know, spared him, because he could have destroyed him. But, you know, the Most High sees when we're trying to be humble. You know, the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So he can see us, and we know we can't hide anything from the Lord. So we got to make sure that we're being sincere again and humble so that we don't get destroyed. And, you know, that we're practicing those fruits of the Spirit as well. And I yield.
Every book almost like you see him going off, and then the Most High the Most High anger is kindled towards them, but then like they bust a fast or something like that, they humble themselves, and then the Most High wrath kind of turn away. So we just want to make sure like we're humbling. Fasting is also a way of humbling yourself. Definitely. We all should be fasting at least once a week. At least once a week. But definitely a way of humbling yourself. But I yield. Hold on. Job was so humble. Like I read the book of Job before I came to truth. I want to read it again, but like it's like I tried reading it again when I first came to truth, and I was like, dang, like I sleep. Job kind of deep. If anybody has read Job and want to read it with me and kind of give me some breakdowns, I would appreciate that because my brain be kind of everywhere when I be reading Job. But he was very humble though. Like his wife told him to curse the Most High, and he didn't. So that's how we got to be. Whatever we're going through, you know, we kind of got to be. We got to be content with it, you know. Okay, well, the Lord got me here. He got me where He wanted me. He got me right here during this season for a reason. You know, He got me going through this for a reason. I'm gonna count it joy. I'm gonna endure through it because it's something trying to teach me. And Hebrews 12 and 10 and 1 Peter 5 and 10. It might be Hebrews 12 and 11. 1 Peter 5 and 10. Like what we're going through is to strengthen. What I'm going through is to strengthen me. You know, what I'm going through is to mold me into a better woman. And you know, Sirach chapter 2. And he sees me as acceptable to go through the fire. So I'm gonna kind of joy, you know, I'm gonna be content where I am. You know, you're not gonna curse the Most High, and you're not gonna talk crazy to him. It's off. So we just want to make sure we're being humble when we're going through it because it's really for our profit. You know, you should be even happier that you're going through it. Like, dang, the Lord dealing with me. Like all praise to the Most High because He ain't dealing with a lot of folks. Like when you be going through it, when you're going through it and you find yourself going through tribulations in life, that's really a good sign that the Lord really dealing with you. You know, he's dealing with you. So all praises for that. Just want to be humble. Like, you don't want to curse the Most High. And it's the Psalms, like Psalms say, though he be utterly cast down, but he slay me. Hold on. Job. But it's another precept, utterly cast down in Psalms. I can't think of right now. But let me gonna get this real quick. I think it's Job 15 and 13. No, 13 and 15. Was it Job 13 and 5? Oh,
I think yeah. There you go.
oh, praise. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. So even though the Most High slays us, we still got to call upon his name and trust him. We can't curse him. We can't, man, we just got to be humble as possible. You know, we got to be humble as possible and just continue to exalt the name of the Lord for real. I yield. I just wanted to bring that out. Slacking. Bring another piece of that real quick. Slacking. Sorry. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Is it Luke 9 or Luke 18? I don't know. I think it might be Luke chapter 9. I can't remember. It's that precept about the. Do y'all know that precept about the publishing? It's in Luke, and he basically came to the Lord. It was that precept. It was going into like I don't know if it's Luke 9, Luke 18. I can't think right now, but I know what's in Luke. And it was basically saying, Lord, I'm not like them. You know, at least I'm not doing this. But then, y'all know what precept I'm talking about?
Con with the publican and the Pharisee.
Con, what precept is that?
That's a good question. Might have to look that up.
Publishing and Pharisee, Luke, KJV.
There you go.
All praises. It was Luke 18. Okay, kind. It's the book of Luke, chapter 18. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Yahawah, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publishing, man, for real. And the publican standing afar off will not lift up so much as his eyes into heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Yahawah, be me merciful to me, a sinner. So when you pray to the Lord, first of all, you don't got to come to the Lord and tell him what you do. The Lord sees everything that you do. The Lord eyes is everywhere, beholding the good and evil. And the Lord eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You don't got to come to the Lord and be like, Lord, I fasted twice this week. I read the whole book of the Bible. I've done everything you've asked me to do. The Lord sees your works, and he's going to reward you for your works. He's going to reward every man for their works. You don't got to come to the Lord and tell him what you're doing. And you also should never come to the Lord and be like, Lord, I'm not like this sister. I don't gossip. I don't wear tight dresses, Lord. I don't lie, Lord, but at least I'm not like them. I fast twice this week and I keep the feast days. At least I keep the feast day. You don't gotta, that's off, so you want to be humble in this thing. And like we brought out earlier, and like the sister Hadassah said, like we're all, like whether you're lying or whether you're gossiping, you both gonna get judged. Like judgment is the same. You're not gonna get judged a little less harsh because you didn't do this. Like all of it is still a sin and going off in the Lord's eyes. So you don't want to ever come to the Lord talking about something. At least I'm not like them. That's because that's off. You want to be humble in this thing. You don't ever want to look at your sister like that. Well, at least I ain't doing that because that's off. If anything, correct your sister in righteousness and help build her up through the spirit, because that's what love is. And the publican standing afar off will not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Yahawah, merciful unto me, a sinner. So ever since I read the verse Exodus 34:8, which is about 2 weeks ago when I watched the Day of Atonement video, I pray on the floor and I put my head down. I used to pray in my bed, but I just feel like that's lazy, and I feel like the Lord deserves a little bit more, a lot more than that. Like, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna get out the bed. I'm gonna pray on the floor because we don't even deserve to lift our head up when we pray. we don't even deserve this truth. We're not worthy. It was only by the Most High mercy and grace that we're in this thing. So when I pray, like I put my head all the way down on the floor and I get on the floor because that's what we should be doing, humbling ourselves before the Lord. That's a very humble thing to do. Like, you know, so every time I pray now, I like the publishing. Let me go back to it. What was it? Like the publishing, you know, will not lift up much his eyes into heaven. So we're not even worthy to lift up our eyes and lift up our head. You know, Christian church tell us to pray like this and lift up and have a hand. No, you know, put your head down because you know we just want to be as humble as possible, and we don't deserve this truth. We just want to be humble in this thing, and also like don't ever come to the Lord saying, "Well, at least I'm not like that," 'cause that's off. And it's the book of Exodus 34:8. And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worship. So we should all be taking note of this. You know, when Moses prayed, he put his head down to the ground. That's how we should be. We should be humbling ourselves and putting our head down to the ground. You know, get on the floor, put your head down, face the east, throw the hair wrap on and pray. You know, so I just want to make sure we're being as humble as possible. And I just wanted to bring out those precepts because, like, it's very off coming to the Lord talking about someone. At least I ain't did this, and because that's wicked. That's off. The Lord is not dealing with that. You know, we want to be as humble as possible, the lowly state of mind, not putting ourselves on a pedestal, not making ourselves feel more important than somebody else, because we've all been there. And at any time, the Lord can flip the tables and have you looking crazy. So just put your head down, you pray, and not exalt yourselves and be like, well, at least I'm not like this, because whatever case you're going off, you're still gonna get judged. I just want to bring that out. And like I said, if your sister going off, correct her and help her up the spirit. Don't just look at her and see her and sin, because that's off. You're going to have to pay. So I yield. Constance, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a precept to like back that up, what you were just saying. It's Luke 18. It's the parable of the persistent widow, and where he gives the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, and the Pharisee's praying, and he says, so it's verse 11, the Pharisee's praying, and he said, I thank you that I'm not like the other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like the tax collector. So it's just basically the same thing that you were just saying.
Shalom, sis. Con. I yield.
Did anybody get 1 Peter 5 and 6?
I'll grab it for you.
Okay. The water.
Don't mention it. Oh my gosh. First Peter 5 or 6. All right.
And it says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of YAHAWAH, that he may exalt you in due time. So, you know, we all know that, you know, we want to be living good in the kingdom. Lord willing, we make it to the kingdom. We want to be, you know, pretty much up there. So we just got to kind of play our role right now. Like, be humble, recognize how wicked and unjust we are. We don't deserve to be put on nobody's pedestal. And we need to make sure that we're not doing anything out of vainglory either. Like, we shouldn't be like, okay, I want to have 10 houses in the kingdom and 3,500 slaves and all this other type of stuff in the kingdom. So I'm gonna just be humble for right now. You got to be sincere about being humble, you know, and really ask the Most High to humble you. And that's a different kind of humble, because, you know, a lot of people don't want to go through stuff, but, you know, we know that when we go through stuff, I know Ken knows the precept, but you get experience from when you go through stuff, and it's experience tries hope and patience, and you know the precept. But I yield.
Right there for 9. A man that have travailed knoweth many things, but he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. He that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath travailed is full of prudence.
It's another one. Hold on, I'll find it.
Con. Was it Hebrews?
Con.
Is it Hebrews 12 and like 11 or something?
Sounds about right.
Is it, is it this on the screen?
Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Okay, Con, yeah, I don't know. But Con, I'm gonna wait till she find a precept. And Con, I want to make sure we're being sincere in this thing. Like, I'm gonna read just because I got to, and I'm gonna study just because I got to, and I'm trying to stay in spirit. Like, you want to be sincere. You want to read. You reading because you sincerely want to. You're serious about your father's business. You sincere in this thing. You're reading because, you know, you really sincere in this thing. You just want to make sure you're not doing it just because. You want to make sure you have a happy heart when you're doing the works as well. Not reading just because you got to, praying just because you got to, because you sincerely, genuinely want to, because you truly want the kingdom, because you love and truly respect and fear the Most High YAHAWASHI. And like we ask to be humble. We ask the Most High put a spirit of lowliness on us, and when we go through stuff, we look confused. When sister, you just ask to be humble. This is humbling you, So, and best believe, like when you pray, like we gotta have faith in our prayers. And when you ask Most High, He gonna deliver on His time. He hears you when you ask for humbling. And then when you smack dead in the middle of the situation, you confused or you're going through, well, you did ask to be humble. So we should ask to be humble. We should ask for more affliction, because this right here, for that verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but He for our profit, that we might be partakers of His holiness. The Most High put us to do things not for His profit, but for ours. He put us through these things so that we can have that piece of the fruit of righteousness. So we can grow, so we can, so we can get better. So it's never for His profit, but for our profit. So.
Shalom, sis. Love you. Just to lean back off what you said, you made a really good point. When you brought that out, because we deserve everything that we get hit with, and it's true. Like, because we all know Yahawashi went through it. That man was perfect. He didn't have to do what he did, but he did it. So we deserve it. Like, he didn't even deserve all the affliction that he went through. So how much more us? So we can't be, it's kind of like selfish if you think about it, when we're complaining about when we're going through stuff, because it's like, you're wicked. Like, I'm wicked. Like, I shouldn't be complaining about whatever I be going through, because I deserve every single thing that the Most High gives us and more. And it's really just, this is light affliction, like that precept says, but I forget what the precept is. But I found the precept that I wanted earlier. It's Romans chapter 5. Starting at verse 3, if I'm not mistaken.
That one. Okay, yeah, that was Romans 4 and 7. That's like the 2 Corinthians 4 and 17, the one about light affliction.
The water. And this one says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. And I'm gonna read the whole thingy. In patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of Yahweh is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. So with that being said, we go through stuff for a reason. It's not, we don't need to be acting confounded when we go through stuff. We don't need to be having that woe is me spirit. We just need to humble ourselves down. Look, I deserve everything the Most High has for me. All praise to the Most High. He's still dealing with me. Because it could be going real smooth. And a lot of people think that, when everything's going good, all praise the Most High, depending on the situation. But, it's a saying in the world, like, Satan give out gifts too. Like, Satan can dress it up real nice. It's not going to be looking like, oh, just all evil and stuff. Satan, we're not ignorant of his devices. So the stuff that he can give you, it can be looking real sweet. You be over there thinking this, something good, until boom, the Most High humble you real quick. Like, no, that was definitely the devil, and you was being wicked and all that type of stuff. But with that, I yield.
All praises. Beautiful, beautiful precept, minded sister.
That's you.
Can we please not start this today, please? What did Proverbs 27:2 just say, sister? Let another man praise thee.
Knew you was gonna try to cut me with that. I knew it.
Yeah, should have known.
I'll praise the Most High.
That's right. That's right. Fine. You can ask questions whenever you want to, sis. One second, y'all. I think that sister had a question. Sis, do you have a question? Queen J?
Oh, she put it in the chat. She said, "You see it?" Con.
Says you just pray and fast and stay in and just feed your spirit these scripts. Cut them demons up with scripts, because anger and strife is none but spirits. We wrestle with the wickedness in high places. We don't wrestle with flesh and blood. Yes, we're flesh, but let me just put this scripture up real quick. 2 Corinthians 10:4, and it's another one somewhere else, but we're flesh, but we don't go through, like, we go through spiritual battles. So anger and strife are none but demons, and you just gotta pray to the Most High and ask Him to remove those off you if you be in His will, and just continue to humble you. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through YAHAWAH to the pulling down of strongholds. And the other one, I think, it's Ephesians. Okay, I'll praise. I think it's Ephesians. Give me 1 second. This book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So the things we go through is spiritual demons. The flesh is warring against the spirit. The spirit and the flesh is the utmost battle. It's the condition of the battle. So, you just got to pray to the Most High and just ask Him just to continue to humble you. Remember always to just give our praise and glory to Him for dealing with you, because we already know that the Most High sends these spirits on us. The Most High wouldn't, 1 Corinthians 10:13, the Most High is not going to put a spirit on you or put you in a situation that you can't overcome. So the Most High put that spirit on you because He knew you could overcome it. The Most High put that spirit on you to mold you into a better Israelite woman, because you're not going to ever grow or learn if you don't go through that. So just remember to always praise the Most High and count it joy that He's even dealing with you. But also pray that He, Baba Kashah, Most High, will remove that spirit off of you. And also fast, but we already know that everything is according to the Most High. It's His will. So we always want to say, Lord willing, and just like the Most High going to remove that spirit when He say so. So just make sure you're praying on it. And also, I'll get this precept. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 17, 21, and it says, howbeit this kind goeth not out without prayer and fasting. You want to pray and fast to get these demons off. You want to pray and fast. Like I said, everything is of the Lord. It's only the Lord can remove the demon. When he say only the Lord can remove that spirit. So you ultimately, 1 Peter 5 and 6. So like 1 Peter 5 and 7, just want to cast all your cares into the Most High YAHAWASHI. Should I cast all your cares upon him? Pray, 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 pray. And just cast your cares upon him. And Most High willing, in due time, he'll remove that spirit off you. And just pray that he put the spirit on you to remove and the fruits of the spirits and increase in the spirit, increase in the fruits, put that spirit on you to move in the spirit righteous for as much as possible. So Lord willing, that answers your question. Basically, the simple answer is just give it to the Most High, pray about it, fast on it, continue to give it to the Most High, and Hebrews 4 and 12, cut these demons up with script. That's what the sword for.
Sissy, what was the first one you just said?
What?
The first scripture you just pulled out. I think it was in 1 Corinthians.
Oh, 1 Corinthians 10 and 4.
10 and 4, okay.
I got a precept. In Sirach, chapter 18, verse 21. And it says, humble thyself before thou be sick, and in time of sin show repentance. So that one's kind of playing on tables. Humble ourselves before we be. When I read this precept, I don't know why, but I kind of chuckle because it's like I be reading it as like, because this is like our people, like this is our books. I'm like, you better humble yourself before you be sick. Before you be sick, you need to humble yourself before you get caught out there looking crazy.
That's right.
And in the time of sins, show repentance. So that's all times. We need to be repenting every single day because we go off every single day. So it's not just, oh, you just slipped up this one day and then the rest of the week you just good. No, we need to be making sure that we're repenting daily because we go off and we need to be repenting for the things we know that we do that's off and for the things that we don't know that we're doing that's off. And just pray that the Most High has mercy on us. So yeah. Are you another precept you can kind of put that in with that is James 4 and 7, and it says, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. So like we were saying for a sister who was talking about anger and stuff, that's one way you're gonna get rid of them spirits is you have to submit yourself to the Most High, die daily in this walk because that's what it's really all about. And when you die daily, meaning like you submit yourself to him, you resist the devil, basically fasting, praying, reading. Then you can seek counsel as well from sisters, talk to sisters if you're going through something. Don't just like fight these things alone because that's what we're here for, to help you as well and to cast our burden on each other. And that devil, he will definitely flee from you, like because he knows that he can only, the Most High will only let him go so far before the Most High will step in and he will help you fight off these demons as well. So that's all I have to say, and I yield.
We gotta submit ourselves to the Most High daily. And something I dropped in one of my videos I just uploaded, the most recent one, just because they have atonement over don't mean you start repenting. Just because they have atonement over don't mean you pray less. Just because they have atonement over don't mean you don't confess your sins no more. We need to be doing this on a daily. We need to be asking the Most High for forgiveness daily. We also just sin, and we go off whether we know it or not, knowingly and unknowingly. We also sin. So we need to be repenting, confessing our faults daily, asking the Most High for forgiveness and mercy daily. Calling upon the name of the Lord daily, continue to die daily in this thing. So we just want to make sure our slate is as clean as possible. So we need to be doing these things daily. Asking the Most High to remove these spirits daily. So come on. What's
I'm
up,
not
sis?
sure. I'm not sure which scripture it is, but I know there's a scripture that says basically every day his mercies are renewed. It's like every morning his mercies are new and great is his faithfulness. So going into the day, like just starting off your day, asking to be humble, asking all that, that's what I do. That's what I'm trying to do, to get rid of all the, like what Queen Jay was asking, to get rid of all the thoughts that you may have during the day. You just got to start your day off with him and ask him to guide you through your day.
Is this the precept right here? Hold on. This right here, it is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not, that are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. I said that because east is towards our homeland, and then, God, let me pull it out. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse 10, and it reads, "Now when Daniel knew that the writing was a sign, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime." So we Jerusalem is the east, and Jerusalem is our homeland. So we face the east because Jerusalem is our homeland, and we pray towards the east. And what I do to make sure I'm facing, well, I live here, so I know the east is this way. But what I do is I go on my phone and I go to the campus, so like the compass app, and I just whatever, and it tells me which way the east is. So I just do the compass app that comes on the iPhone, and that's how I know which way to face. But where I'm at, I live in Houston, and I'm on a campus in an apartment. So east for me is facing this way. So I just face this way, kneel on the ground, put my head to the ground, and pray.
I think, and if you don't have the compass app, you can always go on Google Maps or Apple Maps, and it'll show like a little compass on the right hand side, and you kind of just twist your phone and you find out where the east is. Never eat soggy waffles. I know y'all remember it.
Definitely don't forget that hour prayer at 3 p.m. Most important time to pray. You should be pulling up for prayers every day, but 3 p.m. is the hour of our prayer. Here comes our prayer. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out since beautiful sister BB dropped it. I forgot what precept it is. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 3.
Yeah.
Like it. Now, when Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the ninth hour. So, ninth hour is 3 p.m. So that's really our prayer. So you want to just emphasize your prayers during that hour. I personally try to pray three times during the hour of prayer, 3 for completion. And kind. So yeah. And the angels have always taken up our prayers. Let me get that. You also just want to also pray that your prayers are being heard. And we already know that John 9:31, the Most High don't hear sinners. He hears those that are righteous. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to move as blameless and righteous as possible in this thing, so the Most High can hear our prayers. So this is the book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 15. If y'all ain't read Tobit, read Tobit. Tobit is a mighty, mighty book of the Spirit. And it reads, I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels, which present the prayers of the saints, which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One. So the angels present our prayers. They present our prayers of the saints. We know the saints of Israel. The angels present our prayers and send them up to the Most High in prayer heaven. So, Lord willing, that answers your question, sis. was what she said. That's what she said. But anybody have anything else they want to bring up for the spirit regarding the fruits of the spirit and humility? Okay, well, fine. But we can go ahead and close it off. End it off. Nobody had anything else to say. It's the shortest Bible study we did, but all praises. I'm glad y'all were able to join. Ain't nobody else had nothing to say. Okay, with this thing,
Karen, I just wanted to say something real quick, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
Karen, I just wanted to say that this was a mighty lesson through the spirit, regarding the fruits of the spirit, being humble, basically like helping each other to be virtuous women, because we already know that in this walk we have to strive to be Proverbs 31 women, like how the scriptures describe. So walking in the fruits of the spirit is important, not only in our eyes, but in the eyes of the Most High, because we have to be blameless, meek, humble, long-suffering, kind, and all the other fruits of the spirit. So I just want to encourage all sisters to continue to endure, to fight daily through the spirit, because Satan is only here to do his job. He does not care about anything that we're doing regarding to being in truth. So we have to show ourselves approved and for the Most High, so that way when Satan try to come and I lost my train of thought. I messed up what I was gonna say, but when Satan comes to try to knock us off, we have to be girded up in our loins and really fight these spirits, especially since we just got a Day of Atonement. It's not going to get any easier. Definitely it's going to get hard. It's going to get rough, but we all have each other whenever we need somebody to talk to, somebody to kind of vent to, whatever. But don't get comfortable in oh, I'm down, or I'm feeling this, or these spirits beating me up. Don't get too comfortable in that, and just seek the Most High. If you have to, throw up a prayer, fast, read. If you need a sister, Most High willing, if he's leading you to ask a sister to fast with you, go ahead and do that. Just kind of continue to keep your spirits up during these times, because we're gonna come into a time where we won't have each other to lean on. We never know what's gonna happen. So that's all I had to say. Just continue to endure, and that I love you, beautiful sisters, daughters of Sarah. And I appreciate y'all for having me on this call. It's really helpful to me through the spirit.
It's all praise to the Most High, and your kind. It's very important that we definitely do just continue to move in the spirit and walk on the fruits of the spirits, because like I put in Matthews, we're known by our fruits. You really ain't got to say too much, because your spirit gonna do all the talking for you. The way you move, how you act, how you treat others, that's gonna say everything. You ain't got to tell nobody, oh, I'm so, and most people don't want to boast. We don't want to boast. You don't got to tell nobody you gonna, so Satan. You don't want to tell nobody, oh, I'll do this and I do, because it's gonna show. You really ain't gotta say nothing at all, because your fruit's gonna show. You're gonna be known by your fruits in your spirit. We just want to make sure, just moving as righteous as possible, moving in spirit of righteous for mothers. I always say that because it's very important, because we've just been brainwashed to think that we can be obnoxious and we can be loud and we can be impatient and stuff like that, when it's contrary to the Most High. So we just want to make sure we're just conducting ourselves as women should, and gathering the fruits of the spirit. And like Fallon said, you don't want to get comfortable. So this is Luke 18:1, and he spake a parable unto them to this end that men are always to pray and not to faint. So we don't want to be faint-hearted in this thing, and we want to get comfortable. We want to always throw them prayers up, always be connected to the Most High, and just continue to stay diligent in this thing, and continue to increase and ask the Most High for, increasing knowledge and understanding and things of that nature. So I just wanted to say that, and I yield. And also, I just pray y'all continue to endure, because like Fallon said, it's gonna be a day where it's gonna be a famine in the word. We ain't gonna have each other. Ain't gonna be no cell phone. So we gotta take advantage of this now, and take advantage of the sisterhood now, and continue to lean on one another and increase now. Because once that day comes, so we just want to make sure we're going hard now. And I just pray y'all continue to endure. Lord willing, I'll see y'all on Tuesday on the next call. So I yield.
Khan, the water for the mighty lesson, sisters.
All praises to the Most High. YAHAWASHI.
Mighty, mighty, mighty.
Ugly, ugly.
I want to appreciate the scoffing. Just trying to make sure the Lord's dealing with scoffing. Y'all let me know.
All right. Well, y'all don't gotta thank me. Hey, all praise to the Most High. Thank the Most High. Thank the Most High. Put on my spirit to do this. All praise to the Most High. YAHAWASHI. Just the vessel. All the vessels. We just dirty ashes. So I'll see y'all Tuesday. And if y'all need anything, let me know. And here's my number for the new sisters. Y'all can text me and send me your prayer requests. BARAKATHA. Before I end it.
All praises.
Khan, there's no sisters in here I never met either. So if you want to put your Instagram so I could follow you back, if you guys want.
Wait, what was that? Are we dropping IGs?
What happened?
We're dropping IGs. Was that BB?
Yeah, it's me. I was gonna show my face in the beginning of the
right.
and then I saw look.
So Yappa.
I was gonna show my face, and then I saw everybody else not showing their face. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, you know what? Let me not show my face.
You should have been that one person.
So beautiful.
The one person that kind of do it on us.
All praises to the Most High.
Excuse my hair. I just wet it earlier, so I just wrapped it up in what is this? A t-shirt.
It would be like that.
But Khan, also I wanted to say one thing to all the sisters. If y'all need anything, all the new sisters on here, if y'all need anything, don't be scared to hit us up. Don't be shy. Don't let that spirit hop on you to where you like, I don't know, I can't talk to sister. Pray on it first. Be led by the Most High. And, trust that the Most High is going to bring the right sister for you to talk to, because we all be going through stuff on a daily basis. These spirits be hopping on us like crazy, but we got each other to get through it, through the spirit. And most importantly, with the help of Yahawah by Hashem, YAHAWASHI. So that's what I have to say. Definitely seek counsel. It's very much needed, and it's true.
We're here to battle these spiritual demons together. So I don't know if y'all need anything, reach out. But I'm gonna lay back down and read some Judith, Lord willing. Not Judith, but Sirach. I already read Judith today. But shalom, y'all. Most High willing. I'll see y'all Tuesday or next Sabbath. Most High willing. Most High willing. Feast of Tabernacles is Monday, sundown, 27th sundown. Just a reminder. And dang, I was gonna say something else. I should say something else, but I forgot. But anyways, yeah, shalom. I love y'all. Call and text me if you need me. Also, dang, I think I should say, pray for me, and I keep y'all in my prayers daily. And if y'all, I got all y'all prayer requests in my phone. or wrote down on a piece of paper. So if they alter and y'all need something else to pray for, just let me know so I can add it. But BB, you need to send me a prayer request. I don't got yours.
What happened?
You need to send me a prayer request. I don't got yours. And Queen J, sis, Bubba Kashaw, text me. Please text me so I can get your prayer request.
I don't know if this was a mistake. Queen J, you kind of, I think you privately messaged me instead of Kenzie. She just said I saved your number, Kenzie.
Kai, what was you finna say?
Just an idea. You don't have to use it, but for Tuesday's Bible study, we can go over Feast of Tabernacles, because I think that's when it starts, ain't it?
Monday.
Oh no, it starts Monday. Well, we still can go over it, but the 20th is a Sabbath, so.
So that's no cooking too, or we can cook because it's a feast day.
We can cook.
You can cook. Okay, so you can cook, but it's the no buying, no selling, no work, stuff like that.
What if we have to go to school?
Don't go to school. If you can.
I mean, everybody's situation not like that, so just pray that the Most High has mercy on you, because not everybody can just skip school, every time a feast day come up, because we are in the land of our captivity. So,
the Lord will have mercy on us.
And just pray on it. But, pray that the Most High have mercy on you, but just be wise, because I know I can't keep skipping class or they're going to drop me. Now, I don't skip class when I fast, and I skip class on Day of Atonement. I skip class 3 times, so I can't keep skipping.
I'm about to go on vacation.
Huh?
What'd you say?
Me, I'm about to, because I already skipped for Day of Atonement, and I'm about to go to New York and I'll miss I think 4 or 5 days of school.
But you doing it big, ain't it? You doing it big.
Man.
What's so funny in college, I don't know if it's just my school, but there's this girl, she's Jewish, and she has days off. Literally, she has an exemption form that she has to talk to the professors specifically and talk to them about it, saying oh, this is my holiday and I'm missing these amount of days, and she literally misses those days without taking her out of attendance. She's still under taken under attendance.
See that?
Yeah.
I need to get in that program. I need to see what's going on.
I was talking about it on Friday with this one girl. I was like, I could say I'm Jewish too. I'm Jewish and I could do this too.
Just tell them you're a Jew.
Gotta finesse the system. Gotta use Esau's system against them.
Yeah, I'm Jewish, and yeah.
Well, if you like me and don't give a D word about school, I be skipping a month. I don't care what day it is. I be finding any excuse to not go. So I be all praises.
I wish, but I can't